Jarred Vanderbilt is one of the NBA's most dynamic defenders, being 6'8", over 220, and having ridiculous mobility. In the Lakers playoff series against Golden State this past year, Vando played a huge role in face guarding Steph Curry and harassing him both on and off the ball. And in spots throughout that series, Vanderbilt gave Curry some real problems. You'll see the Warriors on this play run their notorious split action, with Wiggins in the post and Looney coming to set the screen for Steph. And you'll notice how Vanderbilt tries to cheat under the screen, so Curry's going to fade out and attack right into open space off the catch, but Vando is still able to use his length to swap the shot. Now here, watch how he's able to pick up Steph at half court and stay glued to him as he works off this ball screen. Then Curry's going to give it up and sprint right off this Wiggins pin down, but immediately on the catch, Vando is still right in Curry's face, and he again uses his reach to make this a really difficult shot. And again, what makes Vanderbilt special is his combination of size, length, and speed. On this play, you'll see Golden State have Curry work off this pin down and handoff. And notice how much space he gets from Jarred as he attacks downhill off the screen. But in the blink of an eye, Vanderbilt meets him in the paint and snags this pass. So obviously, on the defensive end, Vanderbilt brings a ton of value on the court. But in the Lakers' last 7 playoff games, Jarred's playing time absolutely plummeted. Averaging just 10 minutes of action per contest in the last 3 games against Golden State, as well as the 4 matchups against Denver. So in this video, we're going to go over why Jarred Vanderbilt can be a liability on the court, and specifically how his limited offensive game really hurts his value in the playoffs. So the first clear problem with Vando is that he's just flat out not a good shooter. In the 2023 playoffs, Jarred shot under 25% from 3. And opposing teams simply did not respect him as a 3-point shooter, pretty much allowing Vando to step into wide open practice shots.
Vanderbilt, they're daring him to shoot.
So with Vanderbilt on the court, spacing became a real issue for the Lakers offense, because the man guarding Jarred had a free license to roam off him and clog up the paint. On this play, you'll see AD and Russell playing a 2-man game, and notice how JaMychal Green slides across the lane for extra help. From here, the Lakers are pretty much playing 2-on-3, and that pushes Davis out into a tougher shot. Now we have Austin Reeves handling it, and LeBron comes over to set a screen at the elbow, but notice how Draymond completely leaves Vanderbilt and camps out on the other side of the lane. From here, there's pretty much no space for Reeves to attack downhill, and Jarred cutting into the lane just makes it more crowded, and it leads to another long 2 for LA. So there are some different ways that you can use a non-shooter off the ball, and LA in spots did have some success using Vando as a screener. Jarred is pretty good at rolling and catching into finishes. And on top of that, he's also a pretty good passer. I love this play here where Vando catches and attacks into open space, then he dimes it back behind him to AD for the easy 2 points. This is also a nice action here, where the Lakers have shooter playing in a ball screen, and as he reverses it, Jarred sets a flare screen for Reeves, and they get a good open 3. But the main problem for Vanderbilt was the Lakers' offense throughout the postseason was at its best, with either LeBron playing in the post or using AD as a screener in pick and roll. So for a majority of Vando's offensive possessions, he was stuck primarily as a spot-up player, and he really lacks the skills and tools to be effective in this area. Now on top of Vando's inability to make open shots, there's also a lot he's lacking in his overall offensive game. For being 6'8" and 220, Jarred is not the most physically imposing offensive player. Outside of just catching and finishing open dunks, Vanderbilt is not a dynamic finisher around the basket, calmly avoiding contact, and allowing the defense to push him out into difficult runners and push shots. And physically, Jarred really lacks the strength to overwhelm mismatches. On this play, it's just him playing one-on-one against Jamal Murray. You'll notice how Murray is able to wall up Vando's attack and swat his shot off the glass.
Vanderbilt, oh, nice defense to help.
And there were many plays where I felt like Jarred was playing passive and pretty much avoided looking at the hoop. Now because Vanderbilt didn't have the game to bully smaller players, opposing teams could get away with matching their point guards up with him. And again, Jarred doesn't have the game to expose these matchups. You'll see Vando catch on this play with Curry guarding him on an island. From here, he has the whole side of the court to work with. but he doesn't even square up with the basket, and he immediately looks to pass. Now simply put, if you have a player who can't shoot from the outside, doesn't have much creating ability, and can't punish mismatches down low, you have a player that's a massive offensive liability. And I think the Lakers had 3 guys coming off the bench who were a way better fit for LeBron and AD offensively. So like we talked about, Vanderbilt's presence on the court made the paint way more crowded. And at times it almost seemed like the Lakers were playing 4-on-5. But with Jarred off the court, AD and LeBron could operate with way more space. And simple things like having shooters in both corners really opened up the paint for LA. On this play, you'll see Shooter and Davis playing in pick and roll. And notice how LA has Hatchmore and Reeves spotting up in both corners, which makes it way more tough for Steph and Clay to rotate down and opens up the lob at the rim. Now compare that to having a non-shooter in the corner. You'll notice how the paint is way more crowded. And it makes it almost impossible for the Lakers to generate easy twos. So to sum things up, I think Jarred Vanderbilt brings a ton of overall value to the Lakers. But until he improves his outside shooting and develops the rest of his offensive game, he's not going to be a reliable postseason player. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments who the kid should break down next. The kid's here.